What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So something interesting is really happening, and what's going on right now is the middle class is completely disappearing. I want to address what's happening because this is something that is shocking, because the Biden administration and President Biden himself said that he is all for the middle class and he wants to work to rebuild the middle class, but that's not happening. But here is what's happening. Honestly, there's no secret that we have billions and billions of dollars in unspent funding from previous stimulus packages. Some want this leftover money to be given back to the government, to be repurposed. Some want it to pay off our national deficit. Others want to save this money for a rainy day fund. But yet some want to spend it to help the American people and tackle high inflation. All are good ideas, or some are. We know certain politicians, they're all for giving people on Social Security an extra $200 per month. This has honestly been something that was originally proposed by President Biden back when he was running for president, back during his campaigning days. However, he hasn't done anything for this. He even tried to get this through, especially in a time when some lawmakers are against the idea of sending more money to those on Social Security, when we still have pretty much a fundamental, long-standing problem with the way Social Security is run and funded. Now, here's what we know. We know the discussions for additional relief for things like the gas tax holiday, they have somewhat gone away now that gas prices are $4.35 a gallon as a national average. We know student loan forgiveness is still being considered. President Biden said over a month ago we'd have an answer a month ago as to whether or not he is going to forgive up to $10,000 in student loan debt. However, President Biden is still contemplating this idea, and we do not know whether or not this is going to happen. We know this morning the Education Department, they said they are going to have to delay the new income-driven repayment plan. Delay it because, well, they can. We also know that for those of you that have student loans, there's a lot of questions. We know that the payment pause is going to end the end of August. But what happens then? Do you make payments? Do you wait? Is President Biden going to actually forgive up to $10,000? We don't know. This is more relief that could come. And then we got people like Senator Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin, who are also putting together a plan to tackle excessively high payments for things like medication. But here's what most people don't realize. What is happening right now is, in most cases, is people that are lower income or the lower class and lower middle income households, those are the ones that are being mostly impacted. Those are the people that are getting all this additional relief. But what's happening now is we're actually doing away with the middle class. But President Biden, again, he was touting the middle class for years. He said long ago that he was all for rebuilding the middle class, not doing away with it. And the problem with the shrinking middle class is that it creates numerous problems within our economy. Because we know a strong middle class is critical for a successful and a cohesive society. And without a successful middle class, the upper class is going to run everything, and the lower class would be subject to their demands. Now, why do I bring all this up? I bring all this up because there is a Republican senator who's proposing something directly to the middle class. And I want to discuss this. This Republican senator is Senator Chuck Grassley. Senator Chuck Grassley, he has two different proposals. One is the Middle Class Savings and Investment Act. The second bill is the Family and Community Inflation Relief Act. Now let's cover what they do. First, I want to go over the Middle Class Savings and Investment Act, because the entire point of this bill is simply to entice Americans to save money and invest more. And here's how it does it. right now, okay, the first $300 for an individual or $600 for a couple, the first $300 or $600 of interest is actually tax-free. This is actually coming from if you get any interest on anything that you have, right? Whether it's a savings account, stocks, whatever. Right now, people that make less than $34,000 per year get a $1,000 tax credit for any type of retirement investment. 401k, 403b, etc. Married couples actually get double. They get up to, if you make less than $68,000, you get actually a $2,000 tax credit. But under this bill, the income limits would be raised. Now, we do not know exactly how high the limits are going to go. The expectation, if this were to pass, would probably be $75,000 for an individual or $150,000 for couples. At least that's what the expectation is. The major change from this bill, okay, because again, this has about 4 parts to it. The major change is that from this bill would be to the NIIT, which is the net investment income tax, because currently if you make more than $250,000 and you are a married couple, then you pay an additional 3.8% tax on investment income, such as stocks or cryptocurrencies. But one of the promises that was made under President Biden was that nobody making less than $400,000 per year would pay a penny more in taxes. This is why Republican lawmaker Chuck Grassley, Republican senator, wants to propose to take this level back up to $400,000 per year, which is possible. And then the final point here, okay, is that for those that are single, make less than $42,000 per year, you would have zero capital gains tax on any stocks that you hold for more than 1 year. This bill, okay, this is how it's different, because currently it's $42,000 per year. This bill would change that so that individuals making less than $89,000 per year or couples making up to $178,000 per year would pay 0% in capital gains tax. Okay? That's huge. That is huge. And I'm going to address how all this is going to be paid for, because you do not want to miss this, because this is where Republicans and Democrats are going to kind of butt heads. But here's the next bill. The next bill is the Family and Community Inflation Relief Act. And what this does is this actually modifies tax credits and tax deductions. Now, again, I'm not going to get into all this. I'm not a tax professional, okay? And this bill is not even passed yet. This is a proposal. But the main modifications are going to be to the child tax credits, to the independent care credit, to the American Opportunity Tax Credit, lifetime learner tax credit, and student loan interest deductions. This is where all the credits and deductions are coming from. Now, what this bill does is it is going to change the income limits to actually push them higher so that more people are going to qualify for these deductions. The goal here is actually just to provide a little bit more relief to the middle class. And this is what I've been talking about. The middle class is getting squeezed. It's getting squeezed from the upper class and the lower class. And this is a problem. Again, if we see that the upper class and lower class are the two classes, there's no middle class anymore. What's going to happen is the upper class is going to, any demand that they have, anything that they want, the lower class is going to have to pretty much abide by. And it's not going to work. It's going to be miserable. Unless you're in the upper class, the lower class is going to struggle. So, what's the catch? There has to be a catch, right? There has to be a catch. Because why would a Republican want to give more relief to the middle class? What's the catch? Well, here's the catch. The money obviously has to come from somewhere. And what Senator Chuck Grassley is actually proposing is that the SALT tax deduction limit of $10,000 per year, this gets extended. This was something that was done under former President Donald Trump. Now, this would hurt wealthy people in Democratic states who currently can only deduct up to $10,000 of their state and local taxes on their federal tax return. Now, obviously, Democrats aren't happy with the idea of losing their SALT tax deduction. But, and here's the interesting thing, some say that this is part of the discussions that they must have to find a bipartisan solution to a current economic crisis that we're currently facing. And it's true. We have to take everything, put all the cards on the table, and figure out what's going to work for everybody. But that's the problem, is some lawmakers don't want to find a solution that will work best for everybody. They just want something that will give them a leg up, and that's it. So, what I can tell you right now, there are going to be more discussions. There are going to be more proposals. But what comes out of this, we don't know. What I do know is that the middle class is I'm not going to say the backbone of the United States, but without the middle class, the lower income, lower class, they would struggle the most. I know right now they're lower class Americans or lower income Americans are struggling, but the people that are giving them a job are in most cases the middle class. Without them, you're going to answer to corporate America. You're going to answer to billionaires. That will be a problem. So, let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.